Hey everybody, it is Jennifer, and I have been trying to set aside some time to get this recorded, so I finally have time this week, and it is around the 3-month mark of how long I have owned my new Shark hairdryer. Several of you have requested an update and my thoughts after I've been using it for several months, so that's what this video is all about. So I wanted to update you on my experience, what I thought about the system, whether or not I thought it was worth it in the end, and let's jump right in. It is about 3 months since I have owned my hairdryer because I did purchase it on Black Friday, and so it might be slightly under 3 months, but it's about 3 months. So I did want to update everybody on my experiences and go over each of the attachments. So first of all, Gigi wanted to say hello. Say hello, Gigi. Yes, my little girl. She has been like so clingy since it's been so cold and wintry. So we're going to let her sit right here on my lap while we talk about these various attachments. All right, so I guess what I will do is I will, instead of talking about the whole system first, I will talk about each attachment first. So I'm going to start with the diffuser. I'll put the name of it on screen. I literally have used this once, and it was in the review that I recorded the first time. So this is not a product. I do not have naturally curly hair. I have naturally very straight hair with like the slightest bit of wave sometimes. It's only kind of come on as I've gotten older. So this is the least useful attachment for me. It is also the attachment that I have used the least. So I will say I have not gotten more use out of this one. So I've had several people comment on my original Shark video that they love this one. They have natural curly hair, and this is an amazing diffuser, so that's awesome. But it came with my system. I'm glad I have it because, you know, like, I don't know, like there may be an occasion where I might want to use it at some point, but this is my least used. I've used it the once, so I can't really give you an update on this because I don't really think it's the most conducive to my hair type. So keep in mind, the reason I even bring this up is because if you buy the full system, there may be pieces that you don't use as much. So it's important to note that. So I can't really give you an update on this. It seems to do nice for what it is. Like I say, my curly haired people have said it's incredible. So that's all I can give you for that one. All right, next, I'm kind of going from least favorite to favorite here. So the next one is this attachment. I will put the name of it on screen. This is the one that has the pre-style and the precision style, as you can see. So I've used this one multiple times. If I'm gonna do just a straight dry with no styling, I just want a straight dry, which normally my hair is pretty straight, just straight dry. This is what I will use. And I will use it on the pre-style. And I like it better than just using an empty barrel or nothing on the barrel because it blows your hair everywhere. If you use the hairdryer, and I did mention this in that video, without some sort of attachment on it, it's like going through a car wash. Like, it's just everywhere. And it really adds a lot of frizz, in my opinion, because it's going everywhere and it's hard to brush out once you're done. So using this really helps a lot. It concentrates the heat so that it's not just all over. I've also used the precision style. So see, make sure you can see that. So popping this out, I've also used that with a rounded hairbrush to kind of give like a blowout. And it's nice. I like it. It's a little bit more work than I care for because you do have to have a brush. You have to have 2 hands. You gotta work it. So for that reason, it's not my favorite attachment. But I think it works well for what it does. Like I said, it really helps me a lot with the pre-style, using this as a blow drying attachment, just straight blow drying. So not bad, not bad. I do like it. Also, I want to mention that I believe, and I will double check this, but if you buy the system for curly hair, I think it comes with these two. I'll double check that. But I know that the straight hair comes with the Precision Pre-Styler, this one, and the brush. So let me talk about this next. I'll put the name of this on screen. And I know that this is my, my second favorite attachment. I've got a little bristle that's like bent over to the side, and that's driving me absolutely nuts. Let me show you that actually. See that? It's bent over to the side. I can't seem to get it straightened back out. Anyway, I really like this one a lot. It does have a button here that you can push to rotate. I'll have a T sitting here. It would have been awful if I had spilled that. To rotate so that you can move it around. I like this for me better than this as far as straightening. So if I just want to go with straight hair and put a little bit of volume in it, this is the one for me. And I think it's because the reason I like it better is it requires less effort and less hands. You know what I mean? Like I can do the one and get under there while I'm blow drying. Now, it's heavy and it's bulky and it's a little bit awkward to hold, but I used to have one of those blowout brushes, and that is the same, heavy, awkward to hold. So I don't think that is better than this. I think that it's really cool that I can have that in this neat system. So I use this one more than any other attachment. I use it the most frequently. I use it at least once a week. I really like it a lot. It works, in my opinion, as good as those blowout brushes that, you know, there's about a bazillion generic ones that you can get on Amazon now. But to me, this works just as well. If I had any criticism slash complaint slash wishful thinking or whatever, I wish this was just a bit smaller. I wish the brush was just a bit smaller. Because, you know, in comparison, you can see my head. Like, I don't have like, I mean, I can get under there, but I mean, it's a bit big in my opinion, but that's it. That's the only complaint or criticism or whatever that I have. And it's not a complaint because I use it every week. So I really like this attachment a lot. This one's been really good. But what I really want to talk about is this bad boy. So this is the curling attachment. This is the reason that I got the full system rather than just the one meant for straight hair, because I knew that I didn't need the one for curly hair. I don't have naturally curly hair. But the reason that I didn't get just the straight one is because price-wise, it ended up being more efficient to get this one rather than buying the straight system and then buying this one. So the straight system, I'm going to put numbers on screen, but speaking off the cuff, I think the straight system's $200, and the curly system I think is $200, and then this is $50, so that's $250. The entire package is $250, and Shark has 20% deals all the time, so I got $250. I ended up paying for the whole thing $22. So I essentially got the straight $22, $220 something. So I ended up getting the straight one and the curly system plus this for less than if I had bought one of those individually. So I essentially got the diffuser basically, you know, just for free, and still got a discount on this. So it made sense for me to do it that way, and that is the way that I would probably recommend it if you really want this one. I love this. I did use it last night, not today, last night. And the reason that I want to highlight that is because I do not have hair that curls. I do not have hair that holds curl. I have hair that stubbornly refuses to play well with curling irons or hot rollers or any of that. It falls out the second you put it in. This is from last night. And I mean, it's pretty good. Like, is it curly to the max? No, because I don't have hair that curls super easily. But I love this. I love it. I just put a little bit of mousse in it today. I brushed it with a regular paddle brush. I brushed it. I didn't comb my fingers through or use a pick or a comb or try to be delicate with these curls. I brushed it and then put a little bit of mousse, and they still snap back to life. So to me, that is the best, most amazing part of this system. And I just love it. I love it. Now, you'll notice that up here, I don't have a whole lot going on as far as curl. And there's a couple things I want to say about that. Number one, my hair is very, 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 very long. It's curled here in the front, but I also have layers. So in the back, I mean, it's like well down to the small of my back. And as I mentioned in, I think I did say in my original Shark video, I'm growing my hair out for a hair loss for children donation. It's a great company, Hair Loss for Children. I will link them in the description down below. I donated several years ago. I will put that video up here if you're interested. And it meant a lot to me. It really made me feel a certain sort of way. And I got, it really meant a lot to me, and I want to do that again. It's something that I can do. So I'm in the process of growing out my hair again, and I'm close. I think I'm an inch or two away from where I want it to be. So hopefully this year I will get to that donation, because I think my hair is too long. I think, yeah, I mean, I like my long hair, whatever, but it's too long. It's to the point where putting it up is kind of a disaster. It's too long to hold a good curl with this, even up here especially, because my hair is also really thick. So it's long and it's thick, but it's fine. It is not coarse, and the reason that I say that is that's why it doesn't hold curl, because it is fine. So hopefully when I do my hair loss for Children donation, I can play with this some more and see how it works on a bit shorter hair, because I think it's going to be incredible. But I love this. I love this. So I've never used an air wrap. I think that's the thing that everybody's going to want to know about. I've never used one. It is very, very, very expensive. I cannot imagine it outperforms this. I just can't imagine that it can. I just can't, because my hair is curled the next day. It's amazing. This is wonderful and it's easy to use. Now, I know there was some criticism on my original video for my technique because apparently the directions do say your roots should be somewhat dry before you start. But I'm going to be honest, I have been using it the exact same way I did in that video, and it's it's working well for me. So essentially what I do is I feed my hair in here, and I've been putting this against my head, just like that, to really let the hair like extend in here and get curly. And it helps get my roots a little bit dry, and afterwards when I'm done, I just give my roots a blast and then hit the cool button on everything. That's what I've been doing. So I haven't changed my technique a whole lot, and it's still working out for me really well. I love this. For me, this is worth the cost of the system. So let's get down to the big question that I'm sure is out there that's going to be asked. Do I think this is worth the money? Okay, so I think I'm going to put the price up of the Dyson Airwrap in case you're curious. And I'm also going to put the price up of the Dyson hairdryer. So, and the reason that I'm choosing Dyson is I do think this is a competitive brand. They're both vacuum brands that have gotten into hair care. I do think that Shark specifically had them in their products in mind when they started developing this as a competition. So that is why, again, I don't know that, so please don't come for me if that's not true. I'm not a legal representative for Shark. I have nothing to do with Shark. This is not sponsored. This is just my thoughts, a random person out in the world. So I think I would never spend the money for me personally on the Dyson Airwrap because of how my hair handles curls and the lack thereof. To me, it just doesn't make sense. However, I definitely think this is working incredible for me. So if you look at the system, let's not look at a deal, but let's look at the whole cost of the whole system, $250. I definitely think this is worth its price in gold. Like, I love this. I would pay for this. And you can't have the rest of the system without this because this is not going to fit on another dryer. So at that point, yeah, you're kind of, you need, if you're gonna buy this, you need the dryer. It is half the cost or more of the Airwrap. Again, I'll put those numbers on screen, but I have looked this up prior. So already we're half the cost. I would buy that. To me, that's worth it. So what do I get for $250? I get that, which I love. I get a hair dryer, which works really, really well. I get 2 attachments, one that I'm gonna use every single week and one that I'm gonna use fairly often. Plus, I get a free diffuser if I ever feel like playing around with that and seeing if I can maybe make that work. To me, this system is worth it. I think if it weren't for this, if this were not part of the equation and it was just a hair dryer with, like, for example, if I'd just gotten the straight system for $200 with these 2 pieces, at that point, I would have a hard time justifying this. I probably would have returned it if I'm being totally honest. Not because it's not good. It is, but $200, you know, the hairdryer that I had worked fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't amazing. It didn't do all this revolutionary stuff for my hair, but it worked fine. And I think there's just so many other hairdryers out there that are good hairdryers that you don't have to spend $200 for, that for me, that would be more of a stretch. And I think, again, I like my Shark. I think it works great. I really do love it, but $200 worth just for those 2 attachments, I don't know that I would justify that. Again, if you would and you love it that much, that's great. Please do not think this is a reflection on you in any way. This is just my thoughts. However, with the curling attachment, I would definitely pay $250 for the whole system because to me, this is easily worth $50. I think that's a totally fair price. I love it. And it's like you have to have the dryer to do that. So let's say that I would have spent another $50 on a hair dryer, a really good quality hair dryer, if you can get one for $50, which I'm sure you can. So we're already up to $100. So let's say that I would have kept my blowout brush. I think I paid like $30 for that, I think. So we're at $130. So $130, we have a decent hair dryer, a curling attachment, that curling attachment, and the blowout brush. So that's $130 to $150. Let's give a little bit of grace there. So for another $80, which is what I got this on sale, I essentially get 2 other attachments and I get a Shark dryer, which is a great name. It works well. It's high quality. It feels like it's expensive. I think for me, it's worth it. Again, the whole system, including this. I just don't think for me the straight system alone would have been worth it. just because for me personally, $200 is a lot to spend for a hairdryer. And again, I know there's going to be people in the comments it's like, that's super cheap, that's nothing, and that's great, but I've never thought about my hairdryer before I bought this system. It's never been a part of my routine where I'm like, oh, you know what, like I need to get a better, more expensive hairdryer. And if you do, that is great for you. I'm totally that way when it comes to eyeshadow palettes. I'm sure there's cheaper eyeshadow palettes, but I want all of the Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath, and there's better, you know, there's cheaper eyeshadow palettes, including indie brands, that are far less than those, but I just like them. And so that's fine. Like if you like your hairdryer and that's important to you, you think $200 is a totally reasonable price to pay for a hairdryer, more power to you. That's awesome. Purchase it all day, every day. But for me personally, Jennifer, I feel like for the $220 to $230, I'll put the exact price on screen that I paid, that included this. This is a system that is worth it to me. If you take that away, I think I would have had a bit tougher time justifying all the price. And again, you probably can get the straight system on sale. So if you knock it down to 150, it probably would be worth it. But for me, it's just that 200 mark. It seems a bit high for me, but that's me. All right, guys, so that's it. This video has gotten very long for just a brief update, and I'm really sorry about that, but I did want to have a chance to really talk to you about these experiences. If you have any questions or comments down below, especially concerning or questions about what my experience is, I would love to have that conversation. I would love to share with you. I'm sorry if you feel like my review isn't exactly what you'd hoped it would be, or you didn't hear what you wanted to hear. I am sorry about that. I'm trying to give my honest thoughts as honestly as I can. So that's it for me. I hope everybody's doing great, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.